Hi everyone, welcome to a very special Big V Finals preview show. Steve Chalmers, my name, Laura McIntosh to my left. Very special guest joining us on this week's show, the Werribee YL2W women's head coach, Mason Rogers. Very good to have your company. Thanks for coming on down.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
We'll start off with a bang. Youth League 2 women finals have arrived and we have two cutthroat elimination finals. There's a reason why we brought a very special guest down, because fourth takes on fifth, and it's Werribee up against Whittlesea. No need to speak from our side. Where are we going with this game?
I think it'll definitely be a tough fought game. Whittlesea have some great talent. Hayley Wine's been the MVP the last couple of years, and for good reason. She's very, very, very tough to stop, and Bodley's playing brilliant basketball. But both times we played them, they've been cracking games, so hopefully our girls can live up to it.
I'm going to say if Bodley and Wine both get off the leash, Whittlesea win. But I have faith here that he will stop.
That's very game of you when we have a special guest from the opposition.
He will stop at least one of them. He's got a plan in place, just letting you know. He's got the plan in place. He's not going to let the viewers know, because then he'll let Shannon Bodley know, and then he'll counter that and he'll stop the Werribee Devils. So he has a plan. It's in his head. It's not in for the public.
Well, it's actually interesting, because last time you played Whittlesea, which was in round 14, I believe, It was over there at Mill Park Basketball Stadium, and you guys actually beat them. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, so we won.
A close one.
Good
yes,
homework.
They shot the heck out of it, and they didn't have Hayley, and the other girls stepped up. They played a really brilliant game, and our girls were disciplined down the stretch and were able to just come up with some big plays around the end of the game. So again, it was a great game, so very excited for the weekend.
Big home crowd, Saturday, 7 p.m, Eagle Stadium. How much are you going to win by?
Look, I don't mind what the score is in the end, as long as we win, and I'll be happy.
Werribee for me.
Yeah, I think
Obvious
Werribee,
reasons.
home court advantage.
Chelsea take on Collingwood in the other elimination final, 3rd versus 6th, Saturday at 4 p.m. What can you tell us about these two sides?
Both sides have some great talent. Chelsea is super deep. They recruited really well over the off-season, and they've been playing really consistent basketball the whole year. So obviously the favourites sitting 3rd. For Collingwood, Awen Akot has been brilliant the entire year. I know both times we've played it, she's gone off tap. So I think Chelsea will probably be the favourites, but again, another really strong game.
Did someone have to tell you how to pronounce Awen Akot correctly?
No.
You just knew?
No, I was fortunate enough to meet Awen in the off-season, so fantastic kid and brilliant player.
Luckily for you, because I've got my friends down at Collingwood telling me nearly twice a week saying, no, it's not how you pronounce it, it's Awen Akot. Superstar. I think that she can take Collingwood a long way, but Chelsea, as you've mentioned, they've retooled and they've got the pieces down there. I think they will advance the Gulls.
Yeah, I think I'm going the Gulls at home again. Can you tell us a little bit about the two teams that are on a bye this week? Obviously, Frankston and Sherbrooke finishing 1 and 2 get a week off this week.
Oh, look, Frankston have been the standard for the league the whole year. They've got so much talent, and who've got the opportunity to go and play up with their NBL1 group and then down in their youth league group. Cassie Brewer is borderline unstoppable. She's been brilliant all year. As for Sherbrooke, we played them last week, and same thing, Naomi Smith and Vanessa Fantin are two brilliant players who consistently deliver, and same with Chelsea. For both teams are super deep, so that will be both teams will be hard to beat. Excellent.
Best of luck to all 4 teams in those 2 games, and of course they'll meet those 2 teams on a bye. Youth League 2 men now. Craigieburn and Pakenham finished 1st and 2nd respectively. They will have the week off. 2 elimination finals, similar to Youth League 2 women. The first one, Chelsea taking on Melton. Where will that game be held?
That's going to be held at Patterson River Stadium at 6 p.m. on Saturday. So there's actually a triple header down at Chelsea on Saturday. We've got obviously the Youth 2 women we just talked about, and then Youth 2 men, then Division 1 women.
All happening.
So very exciting for everyone down there. Look, this is a really tough one. Last time these 2 teams met was in round 14 and on Melton's home turf, and it was a big win for Melton, 27 points. However, I reckon I'll probably go Chelsea at home based on season form.
Melton for me.
Yeah.
Got some good talent out there. Max Beaumont, Fernando Rios Rodriguez, all very good. you wouldn't have a clue in
No,
Youth
I
League
can't-
2 men, so
I
it
can't
doesn't
say
really
I
matter.
follow them too
Collingwood taking on Maccabi at Darebin Community Sports Stadium this Saturday, 7 p.m. Third taking on 6th. I like what Collingwood have. If their two stars who play seniors come down and play the Youth League, because Collingwood's season is done and dusted in Division 1 men, so they will definitely play Youth League. And I'm talking about Athian Manuel and Deng Dut.
Ding Duk played both last week.
They will beat the Warriors.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. The Warriors have been great. I guess the back half of this season, they obviously had that break where they went over to Mexico and came back. I saw them play last week and they were exciting, but I think just Collingwood, they've got their stars.
Spoken to some head honchos out at Collingwood, and they are super determined to win a championship this year, to go up to Youth League 1 men. They nearly did it last year. They were close the year before. Super keen to do it this year and right those wrongs. Youth League 1 women, we're into some semi-finals. Best of 3 series, I believe. These are, the first one is Warrandyte in third, hosting Casey in second in game 1. Where will that be played and when?
So game 1 is played at the lower ranked teams court, and then next weekend the final 2 games, or 1, 2 if required, will be played at the higher ranked teams court. So this weekend we're out at Warrandyte on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Warrandyte versus Casey. Look, are we tipping for the 3, or are we tipping just for this week?
You can tip for the series.
Yeah, look, I think Casey. I think Lauren Tuplin's been fantastic for them all year. I'm probably unlucky to finish second. It was really close battle with Keilor, so.
Just in the competition in general, will we see a Keilor-Casey grand final?
Surely.
Because it's been that way for the majority of the season.
Yeah, I think surely, but funnier things have happened.
With an eye on the division above you, have you
Yes.
had a little inkling?
So again, we had Casey in our division last year, and same thing, very deep team, really well coached and disciplined, so they're exciting. And Keilor, Travis has done a brilliant job, rebooting that program. I was very fortunate enough to meet them when we were both at Bulleen, and yeah, those girls are very tough to beat. So I think Keilor would be my pick, but it'll be a great series if you see those two.
Well, the other semi-final series is Camberwell taking on Keilor. Obviously, Keilor finishing in first. This one, Sunday, 12 p.m. at Bulleen High School, is game 1. Tight encounters, I think Keilor and Camberwell have had. If they are to win the series, Camberwell must have game 1.
Yeah, I totally agree with the home court advantage. Keilor coming off a big game last week against Casey, which decided who was going to finish top, and one might say get the easier draw. So, but I still think Keilor.
Youth League 1 men grand final game 1 sees the Geelong Arena in action, because Geelong host Ballarat. As I mentioned, game 1. This one Saturday, 3:30 p.m. In my honest opinion, I thought these were the 2 best teams in the league, and for no apparent reason, of course, 1 versus 2.
Yep.
It's come out this way. Your boys, Corio Bay, just couldn't quite get over the line last weekend, so I know you're a little bit disappointed. But Ballarat on the road, I'm not sure. There's talent left, right and centre here, because Geelong obviously have Josiah King, who I believe is one of the best players in the competition. Wayne Nyeth, he'd probably be up there for an All-Star 5 nomination this year, but then you look across the other side, there is talent left, right and centre, even coming off the bench for Ballarat. Bolt back comes off the bench.
Do you reckon that Ballarat are going to be spent after that overtime win over Corio Bay last week?
Oh, well, they get 7 days off basically, so I think in basketball terms that's enough rest.
Okay, good chat.
Well, your thoughts? Game 1 even?
Well, I just thought Geelong had such a cruisy game last week, and I feel like Ballarat had to expend everything they had. Is that going to come into play this week?
Yeah, cool.
But could it work the other way, where they're now just a little bit
amped up.
more seasoned at coming through tough games?
Oh yeah, definitely. And then they have the home advantage for the final 2 games should they need it. So
Just quickly before we move on, Youth League 1 men, Werribee, how did their season pan out?
They finished middle of the road. They didn't make finals. However, Grant Duca did a fantastic job this year. It was a very new group. He did a really good job recruiting. They've got a lot of young talent, so hopefully things on the up for the Youth League.
Look forward to season 2020 for the Young Devils. VYC Women Grand Final Game 1. 4th place Dandenong. The Cinderella story has continued, and they will host Game 1 Sunday 1 p.m. at the Dandenong Basketball Stadium, and they've got most of their players back, because I've noticed LT Power is playing in the Youth League across the final series. Isis Lopes obviously isn't there. I think she's still in college. Yeah. But Melbourne are the visiting team who finished 2nd in Terrell. I don't know where this one's going, because I thought Nunawading was going to make the grand final.
yeah, and this is both of last week's prelims were upsets. So I think look, at home, I reckon Dandenong will probably win this week. However, I don't know which way that series will go.
Is Katie Bugden going to play?
Oh, look, I hope so.
Is it the simple rule for Melbourne?
Well, that's your favourite rule, isn't it?
Well, I went against
Bugden plays, Melbourne win.
I went against it last week and it hit me back in the face.
Yeah, there you go.
So maybe I'll continue with it. If Katie Bugden plays, Melbourne win. Simple as that. VYC men, this is arguably my favourite game of the weekend. It's the rematch. Spectres Cats 2.0. Nuttawading taking on Eltham. The rematch from last year's grand final series, which saw the Spectres take the Chocolates. They're hosting Game 1 again, just like last year. Sunday 1pm, Nuttawading Basketball Stadium. You want to get down, it'll be a big crowd out at the Graveyard. I'm a big fan of the Spectres, and they've got the band back together again, and similar to Eltham, to be honest with you. But I think Nuttawading...
For this week or for the whole thing?
Tempted to say the whole thing, but I'll keep it to this week.
Okay.
Any thoughts? Nuttawading Eltham, I know they're two very talented teams, and you will see a lot of players head up into the senior ranks.
Yeah, and both teams extremely well coached. And yeah, again, I think it'll be definitely a close game. But Nuttawading with Jack and Remo, there's some tough players to have to on guard.
Let's look into the senior ranks now. Division 2 women, we've got an elimination final on our hands, plus a qualifying final. Melbourne Uni finished on top. They'll have the bye. Sherbrooke take on Blackburn in a cutthroat final.
Yes, loser is out. Winner gets a second chance. Deslin Applewhite has starred for the Suns all year. When they've been down and out, she manages to put up a good performance. She was pretty quiet last week, so I reckon she might be saving it up for finals and they'll get over the line.
Pakenham take on Mornington and have the double chance. They will face Melbourne Uni if they win. They will face the winner of Sherbrooke Blackburn if they lose. Mornington 57 defeated Pakenham 53 back in round 10, and I'm expecting somewhat of a similar result. Very close.
You think Mornington will get up?
I think, well, I didn't say Mornington would get up, but it's somewhat of a similar result. I think it'll be very close.
Yeah. I think... I don't disagree, but on Pakenham's home turf, I think it will be a reversed result.
Sammy Simmons, I should say, been in some very good form over the last month, so maybe she will lift Mornington over the line.
Yep.
Division 2 men, Southern Peninsula, Camberwell finish 1-2. They get the week off. Elimination finals by 2. The first one is up at the Hothouse, Mildura and Pakenham. And if I recall, last year they may have played... maybe it was 2 years ago, because Mildura did make the grand final last year, but Pakenham beat them up at the Hothouse, and I believe it was in a final. It may have been 2 years ago. They'll be looking to do the exact same thing in season 2019.
Yeah, look, it's always a tough trip up there. It's a long way, and obviously a really different environment. An upset's always fun, but I think Mildura will do it.
I thought Mildura were going to go throughout the whole season not losing a game. They fell off a cliff in the second half of the season. I think they regained that form and they win and move on. The other elimination final is Craigieburn taking on Wallen, 7pm Saturday at the Craigieburn Sports Stadium. Simple battle of the imports here. Damon Smith, Trace Curtin, they have been two very consistent players so far this season.
Yeah, and Damon Smith the past, month to 6 weeks has been huge, putting up massive numbers. So if he continues that form, I reckon he'll get the Craigieburn Eagles over the line at home. Division
1 women, we see some semi-finals. Ballerine in 4th, host Hawthorn in 1st, game 1. 7pm Saturday, Ballerine Sports Centre. Hawthorn finished on top for a reason.
Yes, I agree. I think it's really exciting that Ballerina made the finals in their first season in Big V.
However, some Geelong players and the Super Cats were very, very strong in Division 1 women, let me tell you. So it's nearly a shoo-in that Ballerina were going to make the playoffs.
Well, there you go. Nice little commentary.
Thank you.
But yes, I think Hawthorn finished on top for a reason. Nyla Jamison-Myers in the back end of the season, she was a little bit up and down throughout, but I think she's just tapering up nicely, and I think they'll win.
Chelsea and Mildura is the other semi-final, Saturday 7pm. Could be anywhere because it says Ballerine Sports Centre on here, but clearly that's the other game.
Is that Chelsea?
Could be. Well, obviously it's at Chelsea, but check bigv.com.au for the confirmed fixture time for Chelsea versus Mildura.
It's 8pm because they have 3 games in a row. It's a triple header: 4pm, 6pm, 8pm. Patterson River Stadium. Be there.
There you go. Good save. Good pad. Chelsea and Mildura, where are we going and who's going to win?
Well, we're going to Patterson River Stadium.
Thank you.
Chelsea have to win this week, I think. Mildura actually played them down there in round 17 when Chelsea were on that unbelievable winning streak. Chelsea were going for, I believe, 10 wins in a row, and Mildura just pipped them. So Chelsea have to win this week to stay in the series because they've got to go up to the hothouse next week.
Werribee were Division 1 women last season. Have you got any comments on 4 of these teams?
Honestly, I think between Lovett and Power, that's a tough combination to go up against in a 3-game series. So they're my favourites to win it all, but again, some good teams in this comp.
Moving on, Division 1 men, Warrandyte in first, Shepparton in second. They get the week off. Elimination finals sees Sunbury host Bulleen. Bulleen sneak in on a 3-way tie into 6th, knocking out Ballerine and Collingwood. Saturday, 7 p.m, Boardman Stadium. Bulleen last defeated Sunbury back in round 16, so only a couple of weeks ago, 89-82. And if Chauncey Orr goes off the chain, Bulleen win, but anything else, Sunbury will get the chocolates.
What's off the chain?
A 40 plus.
Big call.
And they'll need it.
Yes. Look, it's interesting with Bulleen sneaking through with an 11-13 record. They're probably the only team into the playoffs with more losses and wins this season, but Chauncey Orr's been fantastic. However, Ish Sanders just got up to a nice 38 points last week. He had a little bit of a dip, and now he's coming up, and I think at home that Sunbury will do it.
Western Port take on Keysborough in the other elimination final. This one's a cracker in my opinion. Very, very good players left, right and centre, and I think the key here is depth. They've got depth, these two teams.
So who's your pick? Who's got more depth?
I think Western Port.
I think at home.
I think once everyone gets it together, they had that little slide, maybe mid-season. They got it together. Luke Sunderland knows exactly what he's doing. Daryl Corletto back in the lineup. Tanner Sampson. I think they will defeat Keysborough, who will be gallant in defeat.
Yes. I think at home, I saw Western Port play at home earlier in the year, and they had so much support down there, and I think that alone could get them over the line. Championship
women, Sunbury finished in first. Laura has called them sneaking under the radar, which is ludicrous because they are first for a reason. But we will have an elimination final. Hume City fourth taking on McKinnon fifth, Saturday 6 p.m. at Broadmeadows Basketball Stadium. McKinnon on an absolute tear in the back half of the season. Hume City have been consistent for year on year on year. Who are we picking?
I'm picking the Broncos. I think the combination of Brianna Brock and Nicole Zammit in the past month especially has been huge. So,
know much about champ women?
Yeah.
I'd assume obviously Werribee Devils play a vital part in this division.
Yeah, so again, I would pick Hume. Dee's done a great job with the team, and Zammit is just a big time player that every single time it's a close game seems to be, she's the one that steps up for them. So, but again, Paps has done a great job, McKinnon as well.
I know we've gone for some time, but you just mentioned Dee Butler there. Must give a shout out. Head coach of the under-19 Australian Gems. Silver medalists. Got oh so close to the gold, but you keep your head held high, and we're super proud of the Australian under-19 girls. So congratulations to Dee and the Gems. Qualifying final sees Keilor host Werribee Sunday 3 p.m. Keilor Basketball Stadium. Werribee have been good this season. I thought they were going to be top 2, but they slipped down into 3rd position, therefore they didn't get a home final. What do they have to do to beat Keilor?
Oh, look, I think, hopefully Alyssa gets back into the lineup. As long as they stick together, they're a deep group, and Reese is, one of the most phenomenal coaches that I've had the pleasure of learning under. So, yeah, I think it'll be a cracking game. Keilor's been in form all year, but if they stick together and they can get through their offense, I think they'll be okay.
I think earlier in the year when Alyssa was playing, they were near unstoppable. So I agree. I think similar to your Katie Bugden rule, I think if Jenkins plays, Werribee win.
I thought Werribee were somewhat overrated at the first part of the season.
Oh, risky.
My opinion was they were a little bit overrated. They were winning games that I thought they've only just snuck over the line. But my opinion has changed on them. They obviously took that slide. They've regrouped. They know how to fit into this division and the top handful of teams. They will run with them. And I think Werribee may just get a decisive upset victory over the Keilor Thunder there. I must say though, Keilor have had a great season thus far. The qualifying final, so it doesn't matter who wins because you get a double chance if you do are defeated. Championship men, we'll finish it all off. Semi-finals, best of 3 series. Casey take on McKinnon. They've been running the Zadies Cup year on year in the regular season. I'm not sure if they're running it for this this week. I doubt they will, but
Well, they just had it in round 17.
it's always a great cause between these two teams. This one, Saturday, 7 p.m. at Casey Stadium. I'm expecting some highlights.
Oh.
Raheem Lemons, Brandon Polk, Eric Williams, Dylan Stith. This could be elite. You want to get down to Casey Stadium on Saturday at 7 p.m.
Yes, and interesting, last week they played Keilor. They, the likes of Stith, Tamata and Williams didn't play on Sunday for McKinnon. I think it was Jordan Gear got a triple-double. Mm-hmm. They absolutely smashed it. So their depth is, they go really deep. So I think McKinnon will be hard to stop, especially seeing they won down there 2 weeks ago in round 17. But will be a cracking game.
Hume City take on Hawthorn in the other semi-final. Game 1, Saturday, 8 p.m. at Broady. This one's also going to be very good. I think the right 4 teams have made it. I shouldn't say that. Obviously, Werribee just bowed out, but just not quite good enough in 2019. Yeah, we'll touch on that in a moment. Jamal Shabazz, speaking of highlights, he has been a highlight machine this season. Nelson Kirksey, Mike Phillips, Jack Barry, Luke Sist, a lot. They have depth at Hawthorn, and I think that can take them a long way to a grand final berth.
You reckon Hawthorn will do it?
I think I'm going to call it an upset, but they finished second. But I think Hume will go certainly into game 1 favourites. I think Hawthorn may nab one.
Yeah, I think that combination of Jamal Shabazz, Jordan Coleman, Jake Martin has been phenomenal. More highlights for you for mixtape next week. All year it's been fantastic. So it should be a great game. I do think Hume City will win this week. The series I couldn't tell you.
Now Werribee, champ men. I had high hopes for them heading into season 2019. Connor Coulis was back. Dave Shepherd I had a very high praise for before I got to see him hit the court, and for no apparent reason. Of course, he's averaging 86 points a game or something unbelievable. What happened and where did it go a little bit skewed?
Firstly on those two, not only are they obviously extreme talents on the court, but they are so fantastic off the court for our club, doing everything they can, helping out with junior rep, domestic, Aussie hoops. They're just fantastic people. But look, the group had a lot of talent. I think at times they lost a couple of games they shouldn't have, but Warren's done a good job building a program over the last 2 years, recruiting well. So hopefully it at least is the steps in the right direction to make Werribee a future powerhouse of Big V basketball.
Beautiful. Thank you for coming on board, coming on the show. Best of luck to all of our teams that are playing in the postseason, especially those 6 who take part in Game 1 of their grand final series this weekend. VYC Men, VYC Women and Youth League 1 Men. If your home association is in a final, make sure you get down and support our Big V associations, and you'll get to see some talented basketball. Laura, Mason, thanks very much for coming on. We look forward to recapping it next week on the podcast and then doing this all again, previewing some more Big V playoff action next week. We'll see you then.